Hi everyone, it's Lucy from Rewired, and I was just thinking about it earlier this morning and I realised that it was my vegan anniversary on Sunday. So I have now been living a plant-based lifestyle for a year. I decided that now is probably the time for me to just get it all out there, why I made my choice and how I feel about it now, things that I've noticed along the way. But mainly the reasons why I went and continued to be vegan. I've had a lot of friends and family thinking that I'm going through a phase, or it's like joining a cult and you're a hippie, and I want to just put my point across without being aggressive. A lot of people have said that they didn't want to watch certain documentaries because they don't want to make the change. And that's fair, that's how I felt. I put off watching a few things for a long time because I didn't want to give up cheese. But I think it is really important just to open your eyes and learn the facts before you then make a decision as to what you want to do. I just wanted to highlight a few things, things that you might not already know, and then I feel like I'm just doing my part. Let's get started. There are 5 main reasons why I decided to cut out meat and dairy from my diet, and they include the environment, the people, the animals, health, and last but not least, if that's not going to change your mind, vanity. So yeah, first things first, the environment. Everyone is aware that we need to look after our planet. People take shorter showers, they recycle, electric cars are now becoming mainstream, we've got energy efficient light bulbs, all things like that. But what you might not know is that by cutting meat and dairy out of your diet, that will actually overtake anything that you've already done to try and save the planet. The main factor for me when deciding to go vegan was the environment and the effects that it has on it. I watched Cowspiracy, and most people think that that is just about animal cruelty, and it isn't at all. So here are 5 statistics about how the meat and dairy industry affect the environment. Methane gas from livestock is 86 times more destructive than carbon dioxide from vehicles. Number 2, fracking uses 100 billion gallons of water per year. Agriculture uses 34 trillion gallons of water per year. Methane emissions from both industries are about the same. Number 3, one hamburger takes 660 gallons of water to produce, and that is the equivalent of having a shower for 2 months. Number 4, agriculture takes up 45% of the Earth's land. And number 5, agriculture is responsible for 91% of Amazon destruction. If you would like to learn more about the effects of the agriculture industry on the environment, then I highly suggest that you watch Cowspiracy, because it's an incredible documentary and very informative. Okay, so the next massive reason why I decided that going vegan was the right option for me was the people. There are 7 billion people on this planet, and 1 billion of those people go hungry every single day. There is not a sustainable way to raise livestock to feed the population on meat and dairy. One cow gets through 20 tons of grain a week. 1 gallon of milk takes 1,000 gallons of water to produce. There are starving people all over the world, and we are using the food that they could be eating to feed livestock so that we can have meat and eggs. Sorry about the sound, I don't know what they're doing outside, but whatever, ignore it. Lots of people say, oh, but people have been eating meat forever. And yes, that is true. However, now we are a part of a generation where it is not necessary. We don't need it to survive. There is nothing in meat and dairy that we need that we can't get from the earth itself. Number 3, the animals. I love animals. Everybody loves animals. And if you say that you love animals, why are you eating them? That doesn't make sense to me. I'm not being holier than thou, I'm just asking a question. 56 billion animals die every year for the meat industry. That is an awful lot, and you cannot visualise it because it is such a big number. So to help you, I will link down below to Jimmy Vegan's channel, and you will be able to see in a visualisation of those animals how big this thing really is. The egg and dairy industry also contributes to an immense amount of suffering and death. In nature, chickens lay around 12 to 20 eggs per year. In farming industries, chickens are manipulated to produce 250 to 300 eggs per year. This leads to painful and often fatal reproductive disorders. 6 million male chicks are destroyed every year through either suffocation or being ground up alive. That is true. Research it. It's disgraceful. A bit of a change of scenery, purely because Mike has returned and I am not prepared to do this video with a live audience. Hens and cows from the dairy and egg industry are also slaughtered when they're eventually no longer useful to their industry. So that's been an overview of the animals, not even including sea life. In 2013, 28 billion sea animals were pulled out of the ocean. For every £1 of species caught in nets, £5 of these are unrequested sea life. Dolphins, whales, sea turtles and sharks. 45 million sharks are killed every year as by-kill. And the solution? Don't eat it. Don't eat meat, don't eat dairy, and these animals won't have to be bred and slaughtered for our food. And if you would like to learn more about how animals are affected from the meat and dairy industry, I would suggest maybe watching Earthlings. It's not something I've been able to watch all the way through, but it just shows you what's happening all over the world that we're not aware of, and maybe you are aware of but don't want to think about. The fourth biggest thing, which is very, very important, is health. I've still got potato in my mouth. The pandemic of chronic disease has been ascribed partly to the near universal change in diet, predominantly meat, dairy, eggs, fizzy drinks, oils and refined grains. Our biggest killers are heart disease, cancer, diabetes, COPD and asthma. The list goes on. Did you know that a vegan and plant-based diet can actually reverse the effects of diabetes and heart disease and can also prevent the growth of cancerous tumours? It's not just red meat, it's all meat. And if you are a vegetarian, that's amazing, but also please bear in mind that milk proteins are probably the most carcinogenic thing you can put in your body. Another thing that people don't realise is that these animals are kept in tragic conditions and they do get ill and they do suffer from infections, and the same like we do when we aren't feeling well, they are prescribed all different types of drugs including antibiotics, and then we eat those when we're eating the meat, and essentially we're eating these sick animals. Nobody wants to eat a sick animal. So what you're eating, you're being bombarded with all these chemicals that the animals are taking in, as well as their hormones, and it just doesn't seem very healthy to me. So what is the solution? Well, if you eat fruits and vegetables and whole grains and beans and pulses every single day, they're going to put up the barriers to fight these diseases. I don't think I'm going to be invincible by cutting out meat and dairy by any means. I do understand that this affects so many different people and that might offend them by me suggesting that a change in their diet might help them medically. I would recommend the addition of fruits and vegetables to anybody's diet. It's going to make everybody feel so much better and provide them with nutrients that are going to help them with their overall general health. I would suggest reading How Not to Die and also the China study, which I will link down below so that you can have a look. I think they're really, really interesting and they can give you more scientific facts than I can. And finally, if none of those reasons have changed your mind or have made you want to learn more about a vegan plant-based lifestyle, then it's all going to come down to vanity. And here is what I have found. Skin becomes clearer because you're not pumping it full of horrible hormones giving you breakouts. Your hair becomes healthier, your nails become stronger. I am not the greatest advocate for hair, but that's because I destroy it using hair dye. But my hair grows so much quicker. It is in better condition than it ever has been before, even though I have bleached it to death, so I don't recommend doing that. I can hear a frog. Another reason why it might tempt you to cut out meat and dairy is the fact that you will reach your ideal weight. I'm not saying that vegans are all skinny. You can definitely be an unhealthy vegan as well, because you can eat fake meat products, you can eat refined grains. So maybe essentially I'm not trying to turn people vegan, I just think people need to eat more plant-based foods that come from the ground. You won't have to worry about how much you're eating, you won't need to calorie restrict, you won't need to worry about your weight on the scales, because your body will just become the best that it can be for itself. And that is without even doing any exercise, although I think that is the most important thing, to combine the two. Speaking of exercise, when you do eat like this, you will have more energy and you will want to go outside or to the gym, and you will want to work out, and you will feel so much better. It will give you stronger bones. People say, oh, where are you getting your calcium from? What about your bones? Especially with my injury, and I am not as mobile as other people, but calcium is in so many things. It's in dark leafy greens, it's in lentils, it's in beans. And if you don't want to give up milk, you don't have to worry, because there are so many alternatives. There's almond milk, there's cashew milk, there's coconut milk, there is soy milk, there is an abundance of different foods. People are becoming more aware of what's healthy and what's not, and because of this, shops are having to offer these new different foods. If enough people want the same things, society has to change and provide it for us. So the solution for all of these things, for the environment, for world hunger, and the people and the animals and health, and for aesthetic reasons, is living a plant-based lifestyle. Eat fruits, eat vegetables, eat rice, potatoes, pasta. Don't even get me started on cutting carbs, because that is not the way forward. People in general think protein is very healthy, and actually people eat more protein than they need, and that can be quite detrimental. If all of these foods sound deathly boring, here is the best thing you can do. Add spices, add herbs, your food will taste incredible, your taste buds are going to change, you're going to be craving more healthy plant-based food. And not only that, but herbs and spices also attribute to the antioxidant property within the food. And combining all of those separate vitamins and minerals actually makes them work better in your body. This will help with your bone health, with your eye health, with your hair, it will lower cholesterol, it will lower your blood pressure, you will have more energy to exercise, and all in all, I don't see a downside to it. I don't miss anything, I never have. I'm not perfect. In the whole year that I've been vegan, yes, I have eaten animal products. Yes, I have made a mistake by not asking in restaurants if they contain eggs or gelatin or milk protein. It's in so many things. You have to read every single label. But if you do decide to make this change, do not worry. You are going to make mistakes. It happens all the time. People that have been vegan for years and years and years still find that they've eaten something that has animal products in. It is not your fault. You are doing your bit, and it's fantastic. I think that by cutting out dairy and meat has actually helped me with my rehab, and I feel very physically fit. And also I think that my recovery has improved because of that. I live a pain-free life, and not many people can say that with my injury, and I attribute a lot of it to the lifestyle that I lead. If you have any questions at all, comment down below or send me a private message on Instagram or Facebook or anything like that, and I'm more than happy to start a conversation with you. If you've got any problem with what I've been saying, you can also voice your opinion, and I'm completely open to hearing it. I just wanted to get that out. It's been such a big thing for me, and I absolutely love food. I love cooking. I was already studying nutrition when I decided to make the change. I also really enjoyed cooking from when I used to host in France, and now my love for food and being in the kitchen has just increased tenfold, and I love it. I get excited, I think about what I'm going to eat for dinner at lunchtime, and I don't find that I'm restricted in any way. I think if anything, it makes me able to enjoy and try new foods all the time. So yeah, that is why I'm vegan. I hope that this has encouraged some people to look into some of the topics that I have brought up in this video. I know I've left out so many things that I am going to regret not saying, I could talk about this for hours and hours, but I understand that for some people they find it really, really annoying. So if you want to learn things, you will research it yourself. I just wanted to bring up a few points that I think are very important, and yeah. So that is my vegan story, and I will see you for the next video at some stage. Okay, bye.